About me, I live in New Jersey. I live right outside of New York City. I've been here for a long time. April and I went to college together. That's how we know each other. I work at an educational testing nonprofit right now in operations. But I love to travel. That's one of the things I really love to do. That I love to dance as well. A lot of my travel, at least as of late, has been connected to my dancing life. And also just like to share with friends and eat a lot. I'm a big foodie. So those are just some of the things I like to do. And I would say this trip, the reason why I'm doing this trip, one, because when April told me about Morocco, and she was so excited when she was on her trip to Morocco and when she returned from Morocco, that, of course, it was contagious. And anyone who is ready to plan a trip before they even come back from the trip and wants to plan it with other people, I'm all for that, and I'm excited for that. I would say in terms of places I'd like to go in the world, I can't think of very many places that aren't on my list. And Morocco has been on my list for some time. So when April came back and said that she was going to plan this trip, I was on board from the beginning. So as soon as she put it together, I was ready to press go. And I've never taken a trip this long before, so this is going to be something very special, I think, for me to take a trip for close to 3 weeks is going to be a big deal for me. Usually most of the trips I take are, a week, maybe 10 days on the long side. So this, I feel, is going to be awesome because it'll be such a big deal and such an immersive experience. And I think I'm really ready to do something like that. I am right in the throes of, I guess, what would be middle age. I just had a birthday last week. It's a kind of semi-big birthday. So I wanted to do something to kind of really push myself, to go to a place where it would be so much different than what we have here in the U.S. I've taken a couple of trips to some countries that have been very different, like India, and I feel like Morocco will be a little bit like India was for me when I went quite some time. I went to India it's been 15 years since I went to India. And that was quite a different place because it's such a different culture and such a different, they have such a different day-to-day experience than we do in the States. But it was a great trip. It was a challenging trip, but it was fantastic. And I'm ready to do something else that's like that. I also love the fact that April was putting in a retreat element into the trip. I'm at the time in my life where I'm really thinking more about what is my next chapter in my life, what else I would like to do with my life, and thinking a lot deeper about who I am and taking more time for myself. So I feel like this trip will do that as well, and I like the spirit of that. I love the fact that it'll be a small trip. I'm not big into large trips. I've taken some very large trips before in my life, and they were great, but I do like being with a smaller group of people. A smaller group of ladies will be nice, where we're kind of going through this together, but it's not completely overwhelming, and we kind of have each other to lean on, and that feels good to me. I do a lot of travel by myself as well. So I'm not accustomed to, traveling with tons of people anymore. I'm used to traveling with either very small groups or alone. So I thought this would be a good way to travel to Morocco as well. I also am getting better. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So I think that's important to mention in terms of where I am in my life as well. I have been on the road to recovery for the last couple of years. But it's also still quite a challenge for me, living day to day with, because even though you're a cancer survivor, you're still living day to day with cancer. So for me to I'm still getting used to what we call the new normal. I'm still getting used to that. So I'm still dealing with that. And I feel like travel does, help to push me in different ways and also helps me to feel good in this kind of new space and new body and new everything that I'm in. So that's kind of where I am. In terms of what I'm doing to prepare for the trip, right now I'm kind of in the mode. I'm like, today it's funny, like that April asked me to do this today, because today is the day that I'm kind of looking around my place and trying to find things, find some of my travel gear to see what it is I still need to buy, and see what I already have in place. And making a list. So one of the things I've been doing is making a list on Amazon. And I have a running wish list on Amazon that's going so that I can take a look at, so I can figure out what it is I need to buy. So like the travel sleeping bag is on my list. I have a couple, maybe a tunic top on my list. Luggage locks. I have a couple of luggage locks, but I notoriously lose them around my apartment. So I'm buying a new set of luggage locks for my bags. And let's see, what else do I have on my list? I have a lot of things already here since I do travel a little bit. Today I found my money, my little money bag thing that you can kind of strap around you. This is it. I found this today, so I will probably be bringing this on the trip, and so you can kind of strap this to your person so that people can't pickpocket you. I also found this fabulous little doodad that I bought at Bed Bath & Beyond at the start of the summer, and it's basically a wet bag. So it's great to put your wet swimsuit in or underwear, and it keeps them separate and keeps everything else dry. And it has a couple other additional pockets that you can put things in. And this is what I carry with me to the beach a lot. So I thought this would be great for Morocco, since we will be taking some time to spend at the beach. And we'll probably have some wet things along the way anyway. I also picked up the fabulous Lonely Planet Morocco book from Amazon. So I haven't had a chance to start really going through it, but I will be, and will be dog-earing pages, which is what I usually do with my travel guides. Some people like having these kind of things on their phone. I like having paper because I like to be able to dog-ear pages. I like to highlight things a lot. And sometimes it's just nice to have, especially if your battery dies on your phone and you no longer have your guide available, you still have trusty paper. I've also bought a new backpack. So my plan, and I know this is going to be a challenge for me, as I'm sure it'll be a challenge for many of you, is the whole packing light thing. Even though I travel quite a bit, packing light, I've had an on-again, off-again relationship with packing light. So my plan is to take the stewardess size carry-on bag. I have one. I bought mine from a company called Genius Pack, and they have amazing luggage. I have carried it already on several trips, and it's fantastic. One of the things I really love about this bag is that it has a small little pocket for a travel size umbrella, which they also sell. And it also has an area where you can put in your dirty laundry. It has a compression area for dirty laundry, which works incredibly well and helps you to separate your dirty laundry from your clean when you are on the road, especially when you're traveling to multiple cities. I will probably be taking also a duffel bag. It's kind of like a nice little cute travel duffel, which will be one of my carry-ons. And also I bought a backpack from Genius Pack as well. And this backpack is, it doubles as a suitor as well as a backpack. And it also has the compression technology for dirty clothes as well as the sleeve for my travel umbrella. So those are the 3 bags that I plan to take with me. Hopefully that does work when all is said and done and I start putting all of my clothes out and all of my supplies out, and that everything will fit well. I probably will pick up, I need to buy like a new pair of sneakers so that when we're hiking and whatnot, and I plan to buy a pair that will dry quickly, so if we get wet in the rain or anything like that, then it won't be an issue. As well as some pants that will dry a little quicker. I will be taking my jeans with me as well. I always travel with jeans. I usually wear those on the flight since they tend to be a little heavier, and then roll and pack my lighter gear. I'm also just purchased, it should be on its way here, a pack of packing cubes that also have compression technology so that I can hopefully get a little bit more in the bag, or as we're shopping, as we're going through the country, that I can make sure to take that stuff with me, so I'm not shipping back things that I would like to buy, that I can pack those things. So that's what I'm doing now, is really getting that shopping list together so that I'm not buying everything at the last minute, and that I'm, especially for things that I may want to purchase where it may take longer to ship, like those things that aren't on Amazon. I'm an Amazon member, so I get that fantastic 2-day shipping, but that doesn't always work if you're planning to buy things that aren't on Amazon, or not everything on Amazon. The 2-day shipping doesn't always apply. So I think this is a good time right now to start making those lists and decide what it is that you need to buy and or borrow, so that you can be comfortable on your trip. I'm buying a new travel pillow as well. I found one that kind of it can kind of wrap around you in several different ways. So I'm using that to be able to not only use it on the flight there, but to also be able to use it while we're traveling around, if in fact like I need like a little extra support, little extra head and neck support when we're staying in hotels or in riads, or out in the desert. In terms of, I guess, psychologically preparing for the trip, I'm super excited about it. I think for me, getting prepared, like just getting physically prepared, helps me to get mentally prepared. So as I start amassing all the things that I need, I will feel even more prepared. I have some friends that are concerned about me on the trip, so I'll be sending them my itinerary and my information so they know where I am. And also sending that to my family, which is what I usually do, so they can get in touch with me should they need to, or they at least just know where I am. I think that always makes my family and friends feel better, and then makes them more excited about the trip, which in turn makes me more excited about the trip. I haven't yet bought my my tickets yet. I will be probably doing that within the next week or two. I've reached out to April's contact, her travel agent, and he was great he sent me a great itinerary, but I wasn't ready to pull the trigger just yet. So I will be getting back in touch with him via email to hopefully that the ticket price I'm hoping it's gone down. I'll probably be checking that. And my plan is to travel on Royal Air Morocco, which is, if you've seen some of April's past live broadcasts, she has talked about Royal Air Morocco as being one of her preferred airlines. because hopefully they won't lose your luggage, and they just have a very good system for being able to get you in and out of Morocco easily and safely. So hopefully I will be traveling with them and with less connections. The flight that I do plan to take, I think it's a nonstop in to Morocco, and then one layover coming back, which I think is perfectly fine. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. I see there might be a couple people who have popped in and out. I'm gonna go and see if I see any questions on our page that people haven't quite gotten answers to. Not sure. It looks like Rashid will be taking some questions tomorrow via Facebook Live, and I'm sure he'll be able to answer so many more than I will ever be able to answer. But also, if you're on the fence about taking this trip, if you're thinking about taking this trip, I would say go for it. I'm one of those people that believes that travel is such an important and essential part of our lives, and it's such an important part of pushing yourself to be more of a global citizen, a better person. I feel like I learned something about myself and about other people on every trip I've taken. And during the trip, I you start to learn things, just little things about yourself, because we all evolve. So who I was 15 years ago when I went to India and what I learned on that trip is different than what I'm sure I'll learn on this trip to Morocco about myself, because I'm just not the same person. And so I think travel is so essential, especially if you want to grow as a person, which I'm sure if you are watching this this Facebook Live video, that you are somebody who wants to grow, who is interested in growth, who is interested in being a better you. I think travel is essential to that. It helps us to see people in a different way. It helps us to become more vulnerable and I believe to be more empathetic to other people as well, because we are becoming vulnerable. You're getting yourself out of your own comfort zone and putting yourself in a really vulnerable position, which can make you much more understanding of people who are in vulnerable positions every day. So I think it's super, super essential to add travel to your life if you haven't already done so. And I think it's essential that we travel to places that really stretch ourselves. It's one thing to travel to a country where you know people, or traveling to a country that is a lot like the country that you're from. And you do learn things doing that, of course. But I think it definitely stretches yourself even more when you travel to a place that is so much more foreign than what you are accustomed to on a daily basis. I'm not sure how much more there is for me to say. But if you do have questions, please let me know. You can definitely hit me up via Messenger. You can leave me a message just on this link, and once I'm no longer going live and the video is posted, you can definitely add your questions to the bottom, and I will make sure to get back to you. And of course, April can get in touch with me in other ways as well. So I hope that I'm looking forward to meeting all of the ladies who will be on the trip. And looking forward to meeting Rashid and everyone else that we'll meet. And I hope that if you are somebody who's thinking about it, that perhaps this gave you maybe a little extra bump and you'll be on the trip with us. And I'm just so looking forward to seeing everyone and meeting everyone and enjoying this trip with you all. So thank you so much for joining me on the Facebook Live and for watching the video later. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care.